It's crazy what happens when you start approaching your 30 years, your 30th year. Um, there's so much things that I want to do and I want to be brave with. Like, I want to be like my younger sisters who just never cared what other people thought. And this is going to be like my alter ego on the internet. And I hope that those hundreds, like 10, 20, 100 people of you that really care about any of this stuff, just find solace. It's all going to be okay. And I don't have a glamorous life by any stretch of the imagination. I go to school full time, I work full time, and I do still romanticize a lot of things, and I'm very grateful for a lot of things. And it's okay to have romantic or idealized or silly little hobbies or joys in the world. It's okay. It's better than doing hard drugs, right? Anyways, is this crooked? Okay. Welcome to my little corner. If it looks like I'm getting interviewed like I'm in prison or something, I'm not. I'm just in my spare bedroom. I have quite a precarious setup. You don't know me, I don't know you. My name is Chai. I'm a nurse that works in the ER, and this is my morning. And I just had a spark of creativity and bravery because I wanted to be on YouTube since probably 2008, 2007, back when Michelle Phan was still putting kitty litter on her face and egg yolks on her face, and Jaclyn Hill still had her iconic cherry red hair. And I have a lot of things that I love and I care about, and nobody else loves and care about those same things. It's the middle of the night. It's literally about to be 23:30 or 11:30. Everyone else in the house is sleeping. My house is getting renovated right now. I'm in my spare bedroom, and I just have a lot I want to talk about. Movies, books, couplings, just so much. And again, nobody cares. So if there are people in the world that care about the same things that I do, I would love that. Let me check to make sure that I'm actually filming. So, I finished a book last night in the middle of the night at like 4 in the morning. I finished Divine Rivals, which I don't think we are advocating for that book because of the publishers. Can't remember exactly what the problem or the issues were, but I don't think they were treating their workers very well, and we don't do that. We're not going to talk about it a lot, but I did love that book. I just hope that they can do the right thing. Last year, I read like 75, 100 books. This year, I probably read 10 to 20. It was a hard year for reading for me. I really love books. I've slowed down though on the book buying and stuff. I'm in my cozy pajamas that are very, very wrinkly, and nothing makes me feel cozier than reading a book. And I have a couple of new ones that I'm thinking of picking up here soon, but I thought it'd be nice to go over the ones I have read throughout the year. It's been a hard time for a lot of people. Holidays can be a great time, but it also can be not the best time. And after the election, it's been hard for a lot of people. So if you can find comfort in my videos and comfort in my ramblings and my stream of conscious thoughts at basically midnight, welcome. And I hope you stick around and you can tell me all the things that you like, and maybe we can like and care about the same things too. So I am looking at my iPad. The last book I read was The Last Tale of the Flower Bride. I gave that a 5-star. I read Phantasma before that, Just for the Summer, The Fury, The Wife Between Us, The Hating Game, All In, I don't even remember, Girl Abroad, The Bromance Book Club, The Dead Romantics, Reckless Girls, and The Villa. Wow, I hardly read anything this year. Okay, so let's start from the latest. Again, I can't talk about the latest book because of, I will stand in solidarity. But The Last Tale of the Flower Bride, absolutely beautiful, breathtaking, lovely. If you love things like The Haunting of Hill House, anything by Mike Flanagan, I think that's the director's name. The Haunting of Hill House, The Haunting of Bly Manor, Midnight Mass. It gave me and evoked the same feelings of when I was watching those shows. It is so beautiful. Let me see what I wrote. I gave it a 5 stars, like I said. I put it's absolutely remarkable, gothic, eerie, haunting, a little creepy. I don't have that there, but it's definitely a little on the creepy side. Fairy tale-esque, whimsical-esque. It kind of turns into a horror. Describes the bridegroom who marries this girl, and she is like, I'll marry you on one condition, that you don't look into my past. And she has a very, very interesting life and secret that she keeps. It has a crazy, crazy plot twist towards the end. And I can tell you that this book is not going to be for everybody. It's going to be for weirdos like me. It is so beautiful. I think it's so beautiful. I feel like if I could write in the same way, it would be that book. I feel like she took things from my brain and just transposed it on page. How she describes things, it is just so rich and velvety. I think I put something like that too at the end. It's like, it's rich and decadent. It's like a truffle. Not much actually happens, but it's like descriptive and poetic, but yet it feels nostalgic in a way. Breathtaking. Probably one of my favorite books of all time. I don't think it got the hype that it deserves, but I think it's because it doesn't meet everybody's taste. I think it's going to be a very polarizing book. You will know within the first 10 pages if you liked it or if you're going to like it. I knew almost immediately that I was going to love the book, just with the way that it's writing. The author is so beautiful with how they describe things. It just scratches a particular itch in my brain. Again, if I was an author, I would love to be able to write something in that manner. To describe more of it, it has a dual timeline with a man named the bridegroom. He's never actually named. And then this girl named Azor. And then also it describes the life of like Indigo. So it's Azur and Indigo has kind of that toxic female friendship that you have when you're kind of growing up. It's like one kind of latches onto the other and models their entire being, aesthetic, the way they talk, dreams after this other person. I feel like if you're a woman who's had one of those toxic female friendships, you'd understand. But anyway, I don't know what I meant by I would have fought the writing. Just sucked in, immersed in the story. Probably will never read anything like this. It's not a straightforward story, but it's an exquisite storytelling. It's hard to say what exactly went on. Some might feel bored, but it's, again, rich, very rich and decadent. It's like velvety. It could be a fabric, it would be velvet. Let me not go too crazy with that one. But again, if you're interested, I think just take a look at it. Phantasma. I gave this a 3-star. Phantasma was, I think, the book that really got me out of my slump. I feel like I've been in a year-long reading slump, and Phantasma was the book that really kicked me out of it, because it's been so hard to pick up a book. Well, it's been hard to pick up a book, but when I have been in the mood, nothing has been hitting, and then so I get back in my reading slump. I feel like that's been the way that I felt this entire year. It was spooky. I loved that it was fast-paced. It's not a well written book by any stretch of the imagination. It's like based off of Danny Phantom, and it's like a fan fiction. If you like spicy books, you will love this. I do think it appeals to a broader audience. Come here. I do think that a lot more people are gonna like it and enjoy it. I just think it was too spicy too soon. It's like based on this girl who it's based on this girl who has something tragic that happens. She's a witch, or has, this is very, very much in line. She's trying to go after her sister who like just disappears one night, and there's something called Phantasma, which is like a traveling devil carnival, question mark. If you watch Mike's Mike, I do that a lot, question mark, question mark, question mark. Like a traveling devil's carnival where if you win, you get a prize at the end. And I think any wish is granted. There's like a supernatural element to it. There's devils that are involved, and she falls in love with an entity or something or someone. I don't think I'm spoiling anything, but it happens very soon, and it is fun. There's like obstacles or trials to get through, and it takes like seven days or 9 days, something like that. I can't remember if it was based on the 7 deadly sins or the circles of hell. But I will say I feel like the trials weren't, like, you could tell that this book was centered around the romance because those were very descriptive things, like scenes, and then the actual trial itself was more of an afterthought because I could not picture it well in my brain. It was hard for me to picture that. But it's so fun. Okay, if you need a good time, won't be for a long time, but if you just need a good time, fun, flirty, a little spooky, oh my god, don't chew on it. Don't chew on it. Ah! Girlfriend, please. Mama's trying to get you more money. Just kidding. No one's literally even gonna see this. Yeah. Just for the summer. Oh my god. Abby Jimenez is a queen. I love her. I think she's amazing. I will say I did not expect a lot from this book, but I was bawling my eyes out by the time I finished reading it. I might also add that there were months in between these last 3 books that I read. I'm only now really getting back into the swing of things with reading, but I read this around like August time frame, and it is a weird concept because it's guy finds himself on Am I the Asshole, the subreddit thread, and there's a girl with like a similar situation where they feel like everyone that they've ever dated has like broken up with them, and then they find their happily ever after, their forever person after they've dated them. And weird, right? Like it didn't sound that interesting to me because her previous book was Yours Truly, and I love that book with all my heart. I don't remember much after I finished reading, but I love that book. And just for the summer, I was like, okay, this seems like it'd be fun. And it was fun, but also heart-wrenching in a beautiful way. I think it's the way that Abby writes, like in this particular book, the parental dynamic between the main character, I think her name was, no, it wasn't Brianna, that was the last one. Whatever the main girl character, sorry, it's been months. The main girl character and her mother's dynamic was so, that really hit home for me. And also the way that the guy was obsessed with her, I just loved that. Her best friend was so supportive, and just amazing like acts of service. Everyone really reciprocated their love and affection for each other. It was beautiful. I'm just looking to see what I can you not please? She's like cleaning herself. This is my cat Toph. She's my oldest baby. And also love how to had nurses. Duh, how can I forget the nurses? It is funny though, some of the stuff that they write about nurses, I can tell that she's not actually a nurse, but it's nice to always get representation in books. I feel like it's not talked about enough, and there's always like these niche career paths, but hello, I feel like I could write a book on just the daily things that we go through, the gossip and the tea that we see. But Just for the Summer is part of an internet connected standalone, and I haven't actually read Part of Your World, which is crazy, right? But I will read it at some point. I think it's more of a spring book for me, and it's amazing. Just the way that Abby Jimenez writes, like I just love the way that she really is able to talk about deep topics and important relationships. I cannot probably go over. If you guys want me to go over my list of every single book that I read this year, I totally can. I'm gonna have to review it because one thing about me, I will read a book and pretty much completely forget about it right after. I barely remember the books that I read this year. I will say I will eat my words on The Hating Game. I was talking so much internal shit about that book. One, because I thought it was going to be just stupid, and it is stupid, but God, that was an awesome book to read. I read that in the field, like on my Kindle, and it was so nice because it's fast paced and silly, but in the best possible way. I usually I'm like hit or miss with the contemporary romances, but I freaking love that book. I gave it a 4.5 stars. And I know that was like the first big book that kind of came in and rode the wave of book talk and booktube and all the things. I don't care. I'm sorry. I liked it. I liked it a lot actually. It was fun. It was a good time. Did she talk about being short quite a lot? Absolutely. Again, I don't care. I think it was just the way that it was written. It was witty to me, and it was funny, and it was fun. Can we talk about Wicked though? I saw it twice already within like a week. One with my best friend and her family, and then my little sisters. I have one thing to say, and that is Jonathan Bailey. Yes, obsessed with him since season 2 of Bridgerton. If you don't know me, I am very much so a season 2 over season 1 type of girl. I love the slow burn, love the yearning. I need a whole completely separate spin-off series of just Anthony Bridgerton and Kate Sharma. Simone Ashley is divine. Jonathan Bailey is divine. I need them in everything immediately. I love that he is getting so much recognition and praise because he's fantastic, and he did like 3 simultaneous projects at the same time as doing Wicked, and love him, love that. Remember reading it back when I was, I think, in middle school or high school. My cousin was obsessed with it. I would say I'm a theater kid, but I was not obsessed with like Broadway musicals in that way. I just liked the theater life, I guess. I just remember the book being really hard to understand. I think it's, first of all, do not let your children read Wicked the book, because that is a wild, wild story. It has a lot of things that are just not appropriate for, like, it's not a children's book. It has a lot of adult themes and a lot of adult like symbolism, and like traumatic stuff happens in there. Do not let your kids read the book, okay? it should definitely be like 18 and older. I just read a couple pages, like 30 pages from the book after I finished Divine Rivals last night, and it is a little bit hard to get through. And there's already something that I was just like, whoa, did not remember that at all. So just be forewarned if you decide to read the book. It's not at all like the Broadway musical. It's not really like, I'm sure all of that, I'm sure there's like a Venn diagram of all these things, like the lore connecting together, but definitely it's not for the weak. Um, but I loved that movie. I don't care what anybody says. I will say, Ariana, love you. I love the way that she sang in that movie, but can we talk about the eyelashes? I could not stop looking like at her eyelashes. Her brown eyes are so beautiful and so expressive, and so they're just so deep. Like, and you don't really see women with big beautiful brown eyes on the big screen. They usually have like blue, hazel, green eyes, so I love that she has big beautiful brown eyes. But my goodness, those lash extensions in that world were a little jarring. Alphaba's storyline, I could probably go on a whole separate video just talking about how, like, the nuances of the things that she went through, and it's underscored by the fact that she's like a beautiful, successful black woman. It's insane. I could probably watch it again. Like, Defying Gravity, amazing. Popular, amazing. Like, Dancing Through Life, amazing. I don't care. Like, yes, I'm sure that everybody has critiques about the movie, as they will always find something to critique and dislike about it. But I loved it. I hope the second movie is a little bit more colorful, but it is quite colorful when you watch it in like 3D and stuff. Like, even watching it in standard high movie theater quality, it was amazing. I also want to give a shout out to the braiders of the movie as well. Your work is exquisite, whoever you are. Amazing. Alphaba's hair was amazing. Please, they need to get whatever high recognition there is in the movie production hair world. Whatever they need, give them all the things. Incredible. Excited for part 2. I didn't know that it was going to be cut into 2 parts, but it's something to look forward to now next year. And I don't know, maybe I can have a whole separate video if anybody cares enough about Wicked. Let's go over the books that I have in the running to be my next book to read. I've been reading a lot from my Kindle because it's easy, since my husband's sleeping typically in the middle of the night and I'm just like awake. It's easy to just read under the covers or something, or have it on dark mode and not disturb him. But I do kind of miss having a hardcover to look at and have in my hand. So the first one that I have in the running is going to be Magnolia Parks, which I know everyone loves this book and this series. If I read the series, I will be getting the original covers, because what in the hell are those new covers that they came out with? The old covers are like a piece of art. I just love them. I don't think there's anything else that looks like it. I'm about to read a chapter, I think, of each book and see what I'm drawn to. I am a mood reader through and through. So far, very much so giving me like the Gossip Girl vibes. I know everyone talks about it being like messy, toxic, whatever, and it's fine. I like that. And then we have Sally Rooney's Intermezzo. Target, you need to pay for your crimes. Stop putting these on the cover of your books. At the very least, put it on the back, inside. Like, it is so obnoxious. Nobody likes the stickers on the books, Target, okay? I did the 2 books and then 50% off like 2 books full price and then one for 50% off deal that they had around Thanksgiving. I bought the 2 book. I bought 3 books obviously, but were for me, and then one was for my friend's son. I think I got him one of the Throne of Glass books. And Intermezzo, I've heard kind of different things about it. I think you really have to be in the mood for Sally Rooney. I didn't think I would like Normal People. I loved the show, but I did love the book as well. It is a little funky to get into, but if you do have a bit of social anxiety, anxious disposition, I do think that you'd appreciate the Normal People book. And but Carrie, who's one of the booktubers on here, she's from Korea. She said she loves this book, and I will say I think a lot of my tastes are very similar, and a lot of my thoughts and feelings towards books and stories are very similar. So I might give it a shot and see how I feel. I did really want the blue cover, but I think that's from overseas and in the UK and stuff. I think that cover is so beautiful. There's just something about it. But if I like it enough, I might order it from like Blackwell's or something. But we'll see how I feel about that. I got The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. This is a beautiful book. This book is breathtaking. I did not think I would get this book, especially reading it off the back. But there was, again, a booktuber that really, really enjoyed this book. I think she's a Filipino booktuber. But she loved this book, and the way that she was describing it really made me interested in it. The cover is also beautiful. I love, there's just something about the earthiness of the green, and then this particular shade of pink that is just so gorgeous. I love anything with that particular shade of pink. But I don't know if maybe it'll be like more of like an Ellen Hildebrand type of style of book. But I heard it goes really deep into just the background of the family. I think a girl goes missing in like the 70s or something to that nature at a summer camp, and then it happens again, and then they kind of look at all the dynamics and the relationships of the people involved. But if that's the case, it does intrigue me a little bit more. Everything is so dusty with all the plaster and the stuff that they have going on at the house. But I was so excited about this book. Blood Over Bright Haven. This is by M.L. Wang. This is the same author of The Sword of Kaigan. I have not read The Sword of Kaigan. I gently stopped reading it before, just because again, reading slump all year, etc., etc. It was an awesome book. If you are a fan of Avatar The Last Airbender, I am a fan of Avatar The Last Airbender. All my pets are named after characters from that world. I would recommend reading The Sword of Kaigan. I have not finished it, but it was really giving me those vibes. I need to finish it though. I think I do want the hardback version, or like a paperback version of The Sword of Kaigan, but it's the same author, and I heard that this is a standalone fantasy, which you can hardly ever find in standalone fantasies. So far, a lot of the feedback was that it's amazing. It's a fantastic book, and the magic system is also really cool in here too. So it just depends. There's kind of a little bit of everything. Again, I didn't know what I would be into. Also, Hello, the Red Pages. This looks exquisite. I just have to make sure I'm in the mood to read it, because I just read like a more of a historical fantasy. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I think I'm yapped out and talked out for the night. These are my musings. Thanks for watching and going along on these ramblings with me and these ponderings, these whatever you want to call it. Just nice to have a outlet to be able to put this out into the world. But anyways, maybe I'll see you next time. Maybe I won't. But stay safe out there. Make good decisions. Be happy, be healthy, and what do they do? Bye.